Hello and welcome back to Retfurb. So on today's video I've got this Technics SU-X950 amp that I'm just going to be doing a small service clean on it. So first of all we're just going to do a quick test and see if there's any issues with any of the controls. So now getting straight into it, overall it's working fine. The amplifier, you could use it as it is. The tone controls are a little bit dirty, but not really bad. The balance, again, a little bit dirty. You couldn't really hear it so much in the video test I just did then. But I'm going to get inside, going to get the cover off now. We're going to put some De-Oxit into the controls, into potentiometers, and just give it a basic clean, just to give it a bit of a freshen up, so nothing too in-depth on the video. You can see here I'm just using a soft brush and a hoover, just going around, just agitating some of the dust. Again, it isn't too bad inside, to be honest. You can see that it's pretty clean, so it's obviously, you know, not been cleaned that long ago. So yeah, like I say, just going around with a brush, and what I'm going to do here, just remove the fan and just get in around the blades. It's a little bit difficult to get in around with it in place, so I'm just going to unscrew it. There's only 4 screws and there's a small plug. So just unplug that and then we can get in and get around all the blades and just get rid of some of the thick dust that's on there, using the brush again to get around. Then just hoovering around underneath where the fan was, and now just screwing the fan back in place. That's just 4 screws. So like I say, nothing in, you know, too in depth on this video. It's just going around showing how to give it a quick basic clean and service of the potentiometers. So we need to get this front plate off. So there's 3 screws that are underneath on the amplifier. So once you've removed them, then you can just slide that front panel off and it comes off in one big lump. You need to undo where the power button goes in, and that's 2 screws. So once they're removed, you can pull the circuit board out for the power switch, and then the front fascia is then able to be removed. So now on this, just need to remove the screws on the back of the circuit board, and then also take the tone control buttons off, and then there's some hex nuts in behind. These need to be undone, and then that will allow the circuit board to come off from behind the fascia panel. And then just lift off the circuit board, just being careful because obviously it's still attached with some cables. So now there's 3 potentiometers on here that need cleaning. Also the potentiometer, which I don't show, to the right of the screen there's a potentiometer there for the volume control as well, so that will need scrutting in with some De-Oxit as well. So just to work those controls around, get a De-Oxit in around, that'll clean and lubricate the controls and should stop that scratchiness from, you know, when you're operating those controls. Again, with the volume control knob also, you need to go in on that potentiometer. For some reason I don't show it on here. I also gave it a quick little hoover around. So now we can get that circuit board back in place. So basically just a reversal of what you've just done, just pushing that back in, just being very careful. There's some small locating pieces to put in there, and then just screw it back down. And just putting the nuts back on for the tone controls, just screwing them back in. And just giving it a quick little wipe off before I put it back together. I do give it another clean at the end as well, but I thought I'd just do it now, just while it's off. I thought it might be a little bit easier with it down on the worktop. And just removing the knob for the volume control and just going in around there, brushing that out, and then just wiping off the actual control knob. And then we can get that fascia panel put back on. So again, just reversal, just put in the power button panel, and there's 2 screws that hold that in place. and then once those screws are back in, then you can slot it back on. And you can see there's some joining pieces that join the circuit boards together, so they just need to be lined up correctly. Obviously being careful not to do any damage whilst you're doing that. And then the 3 screws that go underneath to hold that fascia panel back onto the main chassis, and then the lid can go back on. So that's basically it. Nothing too hard there, just a nice little quick service clean. You know, if you've got one of these amplifiers, it will come in handy if you need to clean it, if there's any sort of scratchiness or anything. And also you should be doing it periodically. We're obviously cleaning out the dust. So now we'll get in and we'll give it a quick test as well after this, and just make sure it's sounding all okay. So as you can see, the amplifier is all working okay. So yeah, nice quick little basic clean there. I hope that helps someone if they've got the same amplifier and they need to know how to do this, and just give it a quick little service clean. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. It's really appreciated. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.